Hey, good morning, everyone. All right, let's get more people in before we continue. We have a lot of questions to take today. So this week is for mini project tasks. Okay. All right. I'm trying to go through the tasks, your questions, see the questions you have. Okay. So you're designing the website of a library. People should be able to see books, they can read, log in, sign up. There's a lot of stuff, more like what we call user stories that you have to go through. I mean, they made it very easy for you. Users should be able to do this, users should be able to register, users should be able to see different books and category, users should be able to see details about the books, the books from library, search for books, trending books, add the history of books that you have read, add books they want to borrow in cart, there's a couple lots of stuff, and then also lots of resources for you to work with. Okay, so I'll just go on to address the questions. If you have questions, please do well to fill the form. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just signify if you can hear me. I'm waiting. Just comment if you can hear me. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Okay, so the form is on the Slack channel. So the form is on the Slack channel. You should go and fill it there. Okay, so I'll address the questions from here, one after the other. All right. Um, okay, so let me try and be loud. Right. I'll try and be loud. Okay, so I'll try and be loud, right? So let me just address the questions that I'd seen in the form. Can you just go to the form, right? The form is on Slack channel. That's where we're picking the questions from. Okay. All right. Okay, so one is asking, are we only to create a research plan and interview script? Are they supposed to be in Google Docs to make a copy of it, right? Now, for these tasks that you're giving, right? Come in. You've not done what's it called? User research. So you're not expected to create a research plan or interview script for this, right? You're just expected to design. So go and just pick inspirations online and design, right? So that's the task. Someone says, can we extend the height of our desktop frame for the landing page? Yes, sure, you can do that. Yeah. So you can extend the height of desktop frame, but then not the width. You can't extend the width. You can only extend the height, right? Okay, so that's that. Someone says, are we to include every solution to the user stories in our design? The user story is actually a guide, right? So the user stories is a guide. So I'm not sure you must include every of them in the design. So I think it's not a must. It's just a guide for the design. Yeah, all right. But then it should cover most of it. Right? So it should cover most of it. Okay, so another one is someone saying, where can I get high definition pictures? Okay, you can make use of on Splash. So like I said, I explained the last class. So let's say this is a random frame, for example. If you want to make use of Splash, you have to come to plugin here, click on Unsplash, run, and then you see images here, right? Let's just say big animal, right? See different kind of animal. These are high definition images. Select one, you can see. It's very clear. Image is very clear, right? So yeah, so that's how to make use of images. Yeah. So okay, let me use a very clear example. Let's say we're using books. Let me look for books. Search books. Right. Yeah, you can see books. Books, right? So yeah, it's an high definition image. You can see high definition image. All right. Okay, so someone is saying the screener questions are we to use Google Form also? Okay, I'm getting confused now. Which week 4 are you talking about? Okay, you guys are talking about user research. Okay. Wait. I'm actually talking about the mini projects, right? Which is with 3 and 4. All right. So yes, user research is also for user research 1. Okay. That's what you're asking questions about. Oh, okay. Okay, it's clear now. All right. So the screener question, are we to access in Google Form also? How do I link my Google Form to my Google Docs for submission? Okay. Now, this is the thing, right? For the screener questions, we don't need your Google Form. We only need the questions. Give us the kind of questions that you asked in the Google Docs. Just list those questions out, right? We don't need the Google form. We just want to see how you ask the question, right? Yes. So that's that. See, for the library website, is it only desktop sizes or both for phone? It's only desktop size. Just do desktop size, just do desktop size. Someone is asking, the style guide should be included in the file, right? Yes, include the style guide in the file. Yes, for the mini project, include the style guide in the file, right? Okay. Wait. What's your name? Emanuela on YouTube that's saying now you guys are contradicting yourself. Yesterday, Folajomi said it to the research one. We are not designing anything, we are writing out. Just calm down, right? Research work, which is now the one I said that you are going to design is the mini projects, right? And not the research. That's what I'm talking about. The mini project, it's also week 4, right? Started from last week, week 3 to 4. For the research, you are not designing, you're just writing. Okay. I hope that's clear. So let me say that again. For the research, you are not designing, you are just writing those questions. For the mini project, you are designing with your style guide, right? So it doesn't mean we have to put all the audio calls we made. No. You don't have to put all the audio calls. We don't need your calls, right? We only need your responses. Do you get the responses? What the question did you ask? What did the person respond? So tell us participant 1 and 2. I think there was a was there a guide? I think there was a guide that was added to the task. Come, let me check. Exactly, there was a template. Yeah. So there was a template that was dropped on the form. Please go and check the template, right? The template posted in what's it called? Under post for week 4, user research, right? User research 1. There's an interview mail template, there's a research plan template, right? Please go and check those templates. They will guide how you are supposed to do your work, really. Do you get it now? Right. So what you're doing here is interview script, right? So what creating a report, like you're meant to edit all the look at the template, you're meant to edit the question to fit the work, what's the topic, the project you're going to be picking and the one you're going to be working on. Do you understand? So the template is meant to guide you, all right? You are not supposed to respond on the template, Obina. You're not supposed to respond on the template, right? You are only meant to use, when they say template is meant to guide you to do your own work. We're not telling you to respond on template, right? Now, the point is that what you are creating for user research 1 is interview scripts, not response. You are not submitting their response for user research 1. Do you understand? You guys are getting it confused, right? Now, when you are creating a research plan, the questions you are going to ask, if you check week 5, come in. Let me see week 5. Okay. This survey questions are your interview scripts, right? Okay, user research 2. Okay. Okay, so with 5 we have user research 2 and 3, right? So in user research 2, what you're covering user research is to empathy mapping, how to define opportunities, how to prioritize design, right? For user research 1, you know how to create a research plan, how to recruit participants, how to conduct an interview, right? So we are saying you should pick from this niche, recruit 5 participants, carry out an interview session, carry out the survey based on the idea you're working on. Now, the assignment is to analyze your interview, come up with navigated empathy map, draw user persona. Okay. Okay, really, for user research 1, right? Let me see. Okay. For user research 1, so this is what you guys are supposed to do now. Let me make it very easy and very clear for you. Now, for user research 1, right, what you are expected to do is to write out your interview questions, right? Yes, what we call interview scripts. Now you have to break down. This thing is called research plan. Do you understand? So research plan is how you're going to carry out the research for the project, right? So it's basically how you're carrying out the research for the project, and not even about interviewing those participants. Do you understand? So it's not really about interviewing those participants, about how you're going to carry out the project, right? So you're writing out the name of the product, the one you're working on, the research background, the problem statement, the research objectives, the research questions, right? Now, the method of recruiting that you're going to use, screener questions. The screener questions now, if you watch the videos, right, screener questions will help you get the right set of people that you're going to interview. Then you have the timeline, basically, the milestone for each of the work you're going to do. This is a research plan for a project you are just starting, right? Now you have your interview script. This is now where these are the questions that you are going to ask. So with this template, we help you understand how to break down your interview script. Now, first off, you have to create a rapport with those you are going to be interviewing, right? So like asking where they live, describe all those kind of questions. Then the next one is to find out their behaviors and their motivations. So those are the kind of questions you ask there. Questions like how many times have you searched for nearby friends? How much do you see nearby friends? Now the third section after finding out their behaviors and how they act, right? The third one is finding out the pain points, right? And then the fourth one is finding out tools to use for the work, right? So, like, what tools do they use? What tools have they used? And just all those kind of questions, right? So this is actually a research plan. Do you understand? Planning your research, basically. Do you understand? I'm actually just reading out the research templates coming. I'm actually just reading out the research template. There's nothing special. Okay, let me share my screen so it makes it easy for you guys to get. Okay. All right. So this is the research plan. So this is the kind of document you are going to submit, right? Now, in this kind of document, this particular document, for example, what you are doing is for user research one task is you're actually planning out how your research is going to take place, right? Do you understand? You're planning out how your research is going to take place by putting down all of this information: research background, problem statements, research objectives, research questions, right? Your method of recruiting, screener questions. You know, if you watch the video resource, you understand each of the section. Now, the timeline for the project, right? Now, your interview scripts, where you now begin to, this is where you now write down all the questions you are going to ask the people you are interviewing. So, like I said, right, you are not expected to write down the answers of the people you have interviewed in this research templates. Do you understand? Pain points are the same thing as problems. Okay, like when we say pain points, we are talking about the pain points your user go through while trying to, just the pain point they go through, depending on the project you're working on, right? So that's the meaning of pain point. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to install. See the breakdown here, was it? Okay, so this is a main resource. Now let's go to the tags. I'm just trying to show you tags, tags design. Okay, this is user research tags. All right, so they say choose one from any of the niche industry, right? With the intention of solving the problem, do the following: make a copy of the template and edit each section, right? So it's clear. This is the template, your research plan template, okay? So now, the next thing is create a research plan and write an interview script. Now, in your research plan template, in the template we give you, right? This is the template we give you, right? We already have the, from here, from the top here to timeline is the research plan, right? That's it. So you are submitting. That's so section B. Now for interview script, this is the template for interview script under here, right? I'm helping you understand the tags right now. Section C says interview at least 5 people. Ensure they pass your screener questions. This could be on Slack or anywhere else. Do you understand? Now, this is where you guys are missing it now. You're not expected to submit your interview report or what when you interviewed people, what they said, right? We are not really asking for that. If you submit it, that's totally fine. The task is that you should interview, not that you should submit those responses, right? So we're not asking you to submit the responses. If you feel you can add them to your Google form, add it, right? But if you cannot, we are not asking for it. But the reason why you must interview them is because for you to go on to do this next one, which is user research 2. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Okay. For you to go on to do user research 2 tags, right? Which is this one. Where you are going to basically do empathy map, idea prioritization matrix, and all those stuff. For you to be able to do it, you need to have interviewed people, because if not, you won't have anything that you are going to work on for user research 2 and 3. Do you understand? So, where is it again? So yes, The task is that you should interview at least 5 people. Ensure they pass your screener questions, right? So interviewing them could be anywhere, Slack or anything, right? You can create a Google form, just do anything you want to do. So at least 5 people and get responses from them. The questions they're asking those 5 people are your interview scripts, right? So those are the questions they're asking those 5 people. So they are actually your interview scripts, okay? All right, so that's that. I think you all are getting it mixed up, used. I really hope you. Okay. All right, so let's move on right to the next question. Nobody is asking you to do a case study. Now you all are beginning to feel the pressure of design, right? It has been sweet and you've been enjoying it from the times you were asking, you were feeling OBJs. Okay, let me make some things very, very clear, right? Number one, we are not extending the deadline for submission. Let me repeat myself. Number one, we are not extending the deadline for submission. Number two, this tax carries a lot of mark, right? I think it takes about 10 points. That's the user research one. So failing to submit this tax might really affect your score. I'm just advising, right? Now, number three, you must really understand that this is how hard design is. We are not trying to make it hard. We are not doing anything special to, we are not trying to make it hard. We are not trying to, the deadline, the timeline is not too short. Just put it at the back of your mind. The timeline is not short at all. Like the timeline is very, very okay. The problem you're having is you're getting overwhelmed. Somebody's asking of case study. Somebody's asking of designing. Just read tax and understand. Like the tax is very clear. Follow what the tax says. Do not assume what the tax is saying. Make a copy of the template below. Have you made a copy? Yes. Okay. Now you have to open the link. How do you make a copy of a template? It's very easy to, let me show you how to make a copy of a template, right? So this is how you make a copy of a template, for example. This is the research template. How do you make a copy? Come here, come to File. Under File, click on Make a Copy. That's all. Okay, so once you click on Make a Copy, it says copy of blah, blah. You can name it to whatever, research template, blah, blah, blah. Make a copy. And this is a copy of it now. In this copy, I can edit and do whatever I like. Okay? That's for that. Now, the next task is create a research plan and write an interview script. Now, following the template, all you need to do is all the sections are broken down for you already. Research background. What is your research background? Look at the kind of example that was there. The example that was written there saying, now we are giving an hint, give insight about what you've learned on the industry. You know, you're just meant to write down your background about the project you're working on. For example, I'm working on a food app, for example. Okay, people find it difficult to order for food and get it quick. Many of them, the delivery is always late, blah, 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 blah. Just put something there, right? That's basically it. You get. So what are the problems you have gathered, right? So that's just like a background. So that when somebody's reading, okay, this is what you're trying to address. Now the problem, elaborate more on the problem statement. Now make it clear as possible, meaningful and valid to the target audience. Now, what is the problem? Users want to get their food 30 minutes after they order for food. Now, this is very difficult with the existing platform, stories, blah, blah, blah. Research objectives. What are the things you want to achieve? I want to be able to understand users and they are something about food. I want to understand the platforms they have used and what are the special challenges they have encountered. I want to understand their insights on how we can make it easy for food to get to them. Do they have favorite restaurants that they specifically want to always order from? Those kind of things, right? Now, what are users' questions now? How do people currently, okay, this is using this as an example, right? Now, your research questions basically are just like int questions, right? That you want to do. So how might we, help people order food quickly? How might we make sure people get their food 30 minutes after the order? How might we that's basically what your research question is about, right? Now, method and recruiting. Now, how are you going to recruit people? Your own can be just chatting with people on WhatsApp, chatting people on Slack. Your own can be having a video call, or a Google Meet call, just put it there. Now, I'm sorry, I should be showing you this part of the screen. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yes, sorry, this is what I'm actually showing us. Let me just go over again, maybe time is going. So the problem statement, right? Now I was saying I've explained about talking about problems, elaborating the problem statement, right? The research objective, the research questions, how might we do this, how might we do that, how might we make it easy for people to get their food in 30 minutes, how might we do this and stuff like, how might we make sure people always get their food from the restaurant they want and yet still get it in 30 minutes, like just put those kind of questions of the things you want to solve on the research questions. Now, for method and recruiting, now, how are you going to recruit people, right? It's going to be a blah, 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 schedule the interview, structure the interview. It's going to be on Google Meet. I'm going to chat to people on Slack. I'm going to chat to people on WhatsApp. You must make sure that your method of recruiting people is going to work for the problem you're trying to solve. And then, there'll be a 5 to 7 parts. How many people are you going to interview? Blah, blah, blah. A young male that's outgoing, a young female that's outgoing. It can be a young male between the age of blah, 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 or a working class that's working remotely from home. Just what are the kind of people you are going to interview? That's what you're putting here, right? Now, to recruit battery fans, this person says I'll reach out to people I know I'm going via WhatsApp. Some you can be through Slack, you can be through Twitter, whatever you want, or anyhow you want to get them. Now, this is a screener. This screener question is for you to know the kind of people you want to interview. Are you an outgoing person? If the person is an outgoing person, it pass, right? If the person is not an outgoing person, you are not going to interview the person at all. It doesn't pass. Now, is the person above 30? If yes, then out. If no, then you interview the person. Now, for an example of someone that's getting food, right? Do you work remotely from home? Okay, so first of all, do you work remotely from home? It could be that you want to solve food ordering for people that work remotely from home, right? So you say, do you work remotely from home? Yes. Then the person pass. If no, the person is totally screened out, right? Second question is, do you order for food? If yes, the person pass. If no, then the person is screened out, right? So this is what screen out question is supposed to be. Do you get? Now there's timeline. Timeline is how long you want to, this timeline doesn't have to be real, right? Just put just any date. This, you can basically just even use this one and change the date, right? User journey, wireframes, high fidelity, designs, prototype, and presentation of case study. Just put anything you want here. This we are not, just make sure you put timeline, right? Now, there's interview script. This is where it all gets interesting. This is where you write down the questions you are going to ask the people you have screened out, the people you want to interview, right? So the first thing you want to do with them is creating a rapport with them, right? Now, or just put the kind of questions you think is going to create a rapport with the kind of people you are interviewing. Finding out behaviors and motivation. Now, what motivates you? Why do you order for food? How many times do you order for food? Just chat with them on a random. This one is just to be able to find out what's their behavior, right? How many times do you order for food in a day? Have you considered cooking? Why do you not? Blah, blah, blah. Just different kind of stuff, right? Now, finding out pain point. This is where you now begin to dig deep. What you're talking about, their worst experience trying to order for food. What was your worst experience when you ordered for blah, blah, blah. Just those kind of things. Then What about the food quality? Just understand their pain point. Just try to understand their pain points here, right? Now, here is finding out tools and use. How do they order for food? They use Jumia Foods, they use Chowdex, they use this, they use that, right? What do they use to order for food? Which one do they like best? How many have they tried, right? If they are going to rate these tools in terms of their ordering to delivery, flow, what would they say? Just different kind of questions, right? Blah, 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 blah. That's all. Do you understand? So that's really all. But this one is just story, right? Do you understand? Okay, so I think I've been able to break down this task very well for you all. And I believe you should be able to tackle it better now. All right. So let it go. This is a bunch of questions. Doesn't mean we have to put the links of all the responses. No, I've just explained what you're supposed to do. We don't need your responses. If you want to put the responses, put in a Google Docs. If not, just have it somewhere. Just make sure it is recorded somewhere. Okay. Yes, you can also use Google Forms to send out your questions. All right. So in order to make use of user stories given, more page related to dashboard should be created. Yes, that's correct. That's talking about mini projects. So yes, that's correct. One says, I need clarification on the grading system. I sent them my assignment, but we're not graded. Your assignment are going to be graded. Just be patient. Thank you. So says, my question is already just one. Okay. Are we submitting the link to the interview or the link to the edited template, which has the problem statement? The link to the edited template that has the problem statement. We want to see your interview questions. If you just do copy and paste of our template, you are feeling like zero clearly. But we want to see how you structure your research background, everything. We want to see it down to your interview script, the kind of question you ask. The ability to ask good quality questions determines the kind of result you get from your research. So that's more important to us than what your user says. Whatever your user says, we don't care because they can be right or wrong and we don't care about it. What we care about is you, the designer. Zuri is training you, the designer. So we want to see your ability to ask the right questions. And that's why we have taken time to explain what user research is. Watch the video results, understand how to ask those questions, how to structure your research, how to plan your research. If you're working in a company, you have to make sure that you're able to plan your research and carry out the research. So that's what is our own concern. We are not concerned on the responses. Your user can lie. You can even fabricate answers. We don't care, but ask the right questions. If you can lay down the right questions, then we are satisfied with jury. So giving us your responses is your business. If you want to, fine. If you don't want to, that's fine. Okay. All right. So that you don't say we are using you to do research. Can images and illustrations be used together on a page? I would advise you stick to one. But if you can blend it to, why not? But the moment it looks bad, you can get penalized for that. Okay. So is it all the screener response link we have to add? No, I told you don't need a response. Just do a library design, whether it's ebook or physical book, or just do one. Please, how? Is it a problem? How is it a problem? What do you mean by how is it a problem statement? I don't understand this question. Please, how is a problem statement like? A problem statement is a problem say, how might we help? How might we help? Let me give an example. How might we help, remote workers get their food that they order faster or better, or something like that. Do you get? Someone's asking that question. How will Zuri protect bankable ideas submitted during the user research exercise? Okay. Let me make this very clear, all right? We don't have anything to do with your ideas, right? You can decide to pick an idea that is fake, or just do. We are not taking your idea. Zuri is not going to use your idea. We don't care about your idea. We don't care about your idea. We care about how you are carrying out your research, right? That's all we care about. We don't care about your idea. We would never use your idea for anything. Like, we would never use your idea for anything. Okay, just know that one clearly. So there's no protection that's happening everywhere. You can decide not to use, just Put any idea you like, right? Or just use anything you like. We are not using your idea, okay? Now, color combinations for product in the health tech space. For health tech space, in my opinion, it is always blue and red. Yeah, blue and red, some green, blue and red or green, okay? I don't know how you want to mix it together, but yeah, I'm looking at Reliance. Okay, blue, dark blue, light blue, sky blue, dark blue, some has red, some has green, yeah. So how do I make the background image flow from light to dark shade? Blue, why do you want to make it flow? You have to design them separately. Yeah, you have to design them separately, right? How do I make it? You have to design them separately. Light mode, dark mode. You just have to design them separately. Someone says which URL are we submitting? The research plan or the interview script? The research plan and the interview script are in one Google Docs. We are submitting just that one. All right. In the research template, if my method is a survey, do I write down only survey questions? Or I do it like the interview? Why is your method only a survey? You write down the interview script. Interview script is the survey questions. So just write down the interview script. You want to see the interview script, please. Whether you want to do a Google Form survey, just write down the interview script. You want to really see the interview script. If you don't put interview script, you're going to lose a lot of mark. Someone says, are we to use prototype after done designing? No, you are not. If you like, do, but it doesn't mean. Hi, please keep up the good work. I imagine we are in week 3. How to follow? We already discussed tax in week 5. I'm sorry, I actually picked into week 5, right? It wasn't intentional to go there. I was just trying to clarify user research, right? But we are in week 4, not week 3. Week 4. Right. Should there be a voice or video recording of the interviews? You're not meant to attach your recording. If you do voice or video recording, that's your own work. Keep it wherever you want to keep it. We don't need it. I'm saying it again, we don't need it. Right? We don't even want it, right? We don't want voice or video recording at all. We don't even want it. Don't upload it to Zuri. Like, we don't want it. Okay? Keep it to yourself. You will use it for the other research. Do you get? Thank you. So it says, are we submitting research 1 and the mini project together? What do you mean by together? Trying to understand what you mean by together. Like, do you mean like in one place? Because the mini project is a separate tax. The user research 1 is a separate tax. So you're meant to submit them like separately like that. It's not about, you're not supposed to submit them together, okay? Like, they are separate tax, just separate them, okay? Okay. Someone says, are we designing light? Okay, I'm done with the questions you have on the form. Any question, you can still submit your questions, right? Drop your questions, right? Someone says, what are we designing? Light or dark mode? Anyone. Just design anyone, right? Anyone you like. You can use any company name, whether Pizza Jungle Pizza, anything you like. The name doesn't matter, like, we don't care about it. You guys, when you are doing tax, right, what you should think is what is the tutor going to care about? The person grading the work, like what does he care about? We don't care about your what's it called? We don't care about your company name. It's not our business. We care about the stuff you're able to create. How well can you create a research plan? How well can you write an interview script? That's what's important to us, right? And that's what we are grading. So your company name, your idea, we don't care about it. I mean, who the hell cares about idea? Idea doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, ideas are worthless. All right, so any ungraded tasks are going to be graded, okay? I believe if you have questions, you can maybe ask on Zoom. I'm sorry, ask on what's it called? Ask on YouTube. Someone says on the mini project, do we need to use prototype? No, I just answered the question. Manuel. No, you don't. It's not a must, right? You don't have to, right? We have not taught a prototype. If you do it, fine. We will not even check it. Let me tell you, we will not check it. But don't submit prototype link code. Submit design link. Don't submit prototype link. That's an advice. If you submit prototype link and we are looking for your design or your prototype is breaking, you are just kidding yourself. So just submit design link. We are not grading you on your prototyping at all. For the mini project, the user stories is actually to guide you. We noticed last cohort, they were struggling with what to work on. So that's why we broke down the user stories. They are to guide you. It's not a must you do every bit of it, but at least do most of it, right? Yeah. Okay. I want to believe that's all the questions we have for today. I hope you guys enjoy the week and enjoy the tags. That's how hard design is, right? Are we using Google Docs or Figma to design? What do you mean by the question? Acquire or inherit. Using Google Doc or Figma to design. Figma is for designing. Google Doc is not a designing tool, right? Yes. So Google Doc is just a text, what's it called? A word editing or Word document tool. How do we use the asset on the style guide on the mini project? I don't understand. The style guide should, I'm really trying to get the question, how the assets on the style guide. The style guide should be in your mini project file, right? Yeah. So you should be able to use a copy and paste, just copy and paste it. Maybe. I don't know if I got your question. Okay, Adiola, but I'm also asking, can we use a different font from the one on our style guide? No. If you want to change font, change it on your style guide, right? If you want to change font, change it on your style guide. George, she's asking, for the mini project, are we to design with Figma? Yes. You are designing the mini project with Figma. I mean, yes, now. I mean, where else did you want to design? I'm confused. Okay, someone said you should use WhatsApp. I mean, where else do you want to design? Oh, all right. So, all right. I think that's all the question that we have. Okay, someone is asking, Jessica is saying, can we use same file but different pages? Yes, sure. Same file but different pages, sure. Yeah, please design in peace. The reason why design gets overwhelming is because every time we try to think of everything that we want to do in our head, before going to the board, and it makes it really hard because we can never think about everything, right? So, if someone is saying, can use the italicized font. Advice against it, Sarah. Advice against it. Do not use italics as much as possible. Italics should only be for special purposes. As much as possible, just avoid italics for now, right? Yeah. Why is someone asking, why do you care whether I am designing light or dark mode? Why do you care? Design light mode, okay? You guys were going to mess up dark mode, so just design light mode. We use the same file for different pages, with different pages. Wouldn't that affect the general one with the tax? I don't know what you mean, right? Just name your pages well, right? Name your pages well. Do not use this. Now, you can only use the same file for your style guide and maybe your mini project. And make sure you name it well. Don't go and use it for other tasks. All right. Don't use it for that tax. So some say if we use the same file, okay, yeah, that's the same question. So for the deliverables on the library designs, are we meant to meet all? No, you don't have to meet all, but you have to meet most. Make it clear enough. You don't have to meet all, but you have to meet most, right? Okay, Esther is saying we're told not to use different pages for our design. Now, when I say different pages, I mean your style guide, you must use it for your mini project, right? So I'm saying that just help yourself and you can do it in the same file, right? And name the different pages just for mini projects and style guide tags. After that, do not use that same Figma file for your other tags. Do you understand? Yeah, I was talking about designing light mode. Or dark mode. Just design light mode, right? Doing dark mode is like, it looks easy, right? But it's just trying to stress yourself. Just design dark mode. I'm saying that for the light mode and dark mode, there's nothing like flow. I mean, I know there's a plugin that can help you auto convert them, right? But then it's better to just design them separately by yourself. So that's what I was talking about. Okay. I think that's what the question. Okay, Udok is saying to avoid mentors not checking other pages on your Figma, it's best you design on one Figma board or Figma page. Okay. Yes, 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 exactly. Sign up for. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is it, right? When I was talking about different Figma page, I was saying your style guide will be one Figma page, and then all your mini project design will be in another Figma page. Don't go and do login in one page, sign up in another page, landing page in another page. You are like you are shooting yourself on the leg. You're just doing nonsense. Nobody has time to be checking different pages for your work, right? So don't go and do sign up on one page, login on one page, landing page on one page, and do like I actually was just giving that exception because you are using the same style guide. And I mean, it shouldn't even be a problem. You should be able to replicate it. I showed you guys how to use a style guide file in another, but you guys were having issues with your doing that on Figma. So I didn't want it to be complicated for you. So that's the reason why I said just do your mini project in another page on the same Figma, right? But then I'm not saying you should what's it called now? You should do login on one page, landing page on one page, and all those kind of. Do you get? No, exactly. Ola told me while lying. This. Wait, what do you mean? Okay. Library design. What do you mean by and so on? There's no so on. So is that your style guide is in page one? So you must max have 2 pages. Okay, I think this will make it clear. 2 pages. That is only peculiar to your style guide and mini project design. Mini project design. You get. So minimum, if you have more than 2 pages, you are doing nonsense. All right. If you have more than 2 pages, you are doing nonsense. Okay, let me just say that. All right. Daniel Dre, what's your question? Let me just take a minute to answer that. I don't know if I skipped your question. I'm not sure I skipped any question. But just ask your question. Daniel Dre, if you're not asking your question, I'll have to end the class now. All right. I'm just giving you the option to ask a question. I'm not sure I skipped it, but I just want to be sure. Are we to include login and sign up page in the landing page separately? What do you mean by login and sign up page in the landing page? Is stuff on its own, like it's a design on its own, right? Then you have your login page design separate. You have your login design separate, and then you have your sign up design separate. But we are talking about your login and the sign in button. Then you just log in and sign in. Login and sign in button should be on your landing page. Okay. I'm forgetting that there is a page for design thinking exercise. How? Why will your design thinking? Why should your design thinking is another work on its own? It should not be like that's another, should be another file on its own. It should not be where you do your style guide. It should not be there. You understand? Yes. So for the research tax, click on okay. What about the project for the user research we are conducting? Mini project also. Your user research tax, you are submitting a Google Docs for user research 1. That's for week 4 so far. At least you are submitting a Google Docs. So that's not supposed to be a complication with Figma. Exactly what Wilson Momo said. Okay, the design thinking tax is going to be graded. Okay, thanks so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys got a lot. I hope the tax became clearer. I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope you are able to attempt the tax much more accurately. See you all when on Thursday. That's when my next officer is, but there's an officer coming up today. Do well to join and ask your question again. Fill the form, submit your questions now so that they can get answered during the next officer in case I didn't answer your question. Okay. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day. Oh, a great week, great day also.